Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bigger Than Race, exposure to all things truth, whether you like it or not, with unique perspectives from different beings from all walks of life. This is Bigger Than Race. Investigate truth on your own terms. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Bigger Than Race. This is your boy. This is your host, the one and only Brando, aka Crypto Poppy. And now I'm back bringing you another banger. And this is part 2 to that wonderful video you heard earlier in the week about SingularityNET, AGI, artificial intelligence. And recently, right after I did that video, 2 days after, OPENCOG has the OPENCOG Con, sponsored by none other than SingularityNET. Now, you look how things operate. You see, I bring you information, and then OPENCOG comes right after that with some more information. And normally, they don't really do these type of things. They're not too wide open. So it's funny how I just brushed on the topic of OPENCOG, and now they have OPENCOG Con going on as we speak. So you can see what's happening right now with the OPENCOG Con. On Wednesday, July 15th, you had Ben Gortzel speaking, and then Thursday, on the 16th, Ben Gortzel was also speaking. And this was all things AI, OPENCOG, True AGI, and SingularityNET. Come on now, people. Now, I want to touch a little bit more in depth with OPENCOG. OPENCOG is a project that aims to build an open source artificial intelligence framework. OPENCOG Prime is an architecture for robot and virtual embodied cognition that defines a set of interacting components designed to give rise to human equivalent artificial general intelligence, AGI, as an emergent phenomenon of the whole system. OPENCOG Prime's design is primarily the work of Ben Gortzel, while the OPENCOG framework is intended as a generic framework for broad-based AGI research. Research utilizing OPENCOG has been published in journals and presented at conferences and workshops, including the annual conference on artificial general intelligence. OPENCOG is released under the terms of the GNU Affero General Public License. OPENCOG is in use by more than 50 companies, including Huawei and Cisco. Now, let's continue to this article here titled OPENCOG Artificial General Intelligence Roadmap. And this was done in March 5th of 2011. And you see how they put things in advance. They got roadmaps to lead you all the way right now to 2020, leading you into 2030. Even farther than that. But in 2011 to 2012, a proto-AGI virtual agent integrated toddler-level intelligence for video game/virtual world characters. Focus on robustness, flexibility, and adaptive interactive learning. This is not a good old-fashioned blocks world. Simple English language dialogue, answering questions about its environment and state, taking instructions, asking clarifying questions when the instructions aren't understood, etc. Basically, this is just breaking down the roadmap from 2011 leading up to where we are now. As you can see in 2013, 20 to 2014, a complete integrated proto-AGI mind, collective cognition, allowing multiple intelligent agents in an embodied environment to selectively share knowledge and learn from each other's experience. Basically, the artificial intelligence is going to be learning from each other. Abstract generalization, extension of inference, and program learning systems to utilize higher order functions. Robot control, e.g., humanoid robots, perhaps others. Integration with motion planning and hierarchical control systems with testing in the Bliss Robot Lab. Connection of OPENCOG to massive, scalable knowledge store, including a permanent OPENCOG instance that new OPENCOG instances can synchronize with an installation. Basically, just breaking it all the way down. 2015 to 2016, advanced learning and reasoning, virtual world-based AI agents that flexibly acquire language and knowledge from human participants. Remember, they want to link humans and artificial intelligence robots to the Singularity, which also utilizes the Neuralink from Elon Musk, okay? Humanoid robotic control outside the robot lab within rich environments. Initial experimentation with automated control of laboratory equipment, e.g., gene sequencers or microarrays. Now, I want you to understand something. In the book, Art of War, one of the quotes, appear far when you are near. Remember, they keep showing you this bald-headed ass robot that ain't got no hair, Sophia. And I'm going to show you right on the screen. Bam! You see her bald-headed ass. But remember, they're just showing us this because they need to slowly introduce us so we don't lose our damn minds. They already got full robots out there that look like humans. And on a later video, I'm going to touch on that in regards to the importance of using humanoid robots instead of having a faceless AI. Now, let's continue to go down to 2017 to 2018. And I'm not touching on every point that's in these roadmaps. I'm going to link it and you can go visit yourself. But 2017 to 2018, AGI experts, creation of an OPENCOG-based artificial scientist operating a small molecular biology laboratory on its own, designing its own experiments and operating the equipment and analyzing the results and describing them in English. Creation of an OPENCOG-based service robot which carries out basic household tasks in a manner driven by English language communication and knowledge sharing with a network of other robots. They basically telling you the goddamn robots is going to be working with us in our home, doing tasks for us. This is crazy. Creation of an OPENCOG-based virtual assistant which accompanies its employer into various online spaces and augmented realities, providing intelligent guidance as needed. Wow. 2019 to 2021. This is our time right now. Okay? Full-on human-level AGI. So basically, they're telling us right now, these robots are at human level. But remember, they keep showing you this bald-headed ass robot, Sophia. Look at her on the screen. What you see is not what you get. Okay? They are so far advanced. Integration of special purpose intelligent agents from 2017 to 2018 into a single OPENCOG-based mind kit. Now, do you really see why OPENCOG is so important to the whole ecosystem of the artificial intelligence, of the SingularityNET, of the AGI, the artificial general intelligence? All things are needed. And this is why all of these companies have to merge and plug into the Singularity. The Singularity is the freeway of all artificial intelligence. I don't care what you say. You can look at Sophia's bald-headed ass if you want to and think she doesn't mean anything, but I can surely tell you she's probably smarter than you are. Maybe even me. Risk assessment of goal stability under self-modifications with consultation from the Singularity Institute for Artificial Intelligence. Instruction of the integrated OPENCOG mind in basics of computer science and programming to enable it to improve aspects of its own implementation. 2021 to 2023, Advanced Self-Improvement. Further instruction in computer science to enable more significant self-improvement of code base. Further investigation into AI risk and goal stability. Trial self-improvement loops in constrained environments. Now, this goes a little further along, but we're going to stop here because we're going to jump to this. Building Better Minds. The high-level roadmap charts a course from the current state of the OPENCOG system to a full-blown human-level AGI. Each step along the roadmap is discussed in the Building Better Minds manuscript. This book was released and authored by Dr. Ben Gortzel. Now let's check this out real quick. Building Better Minds by Dr. Ben Gortzel with co-authors Casillo Paninchin and Neil Geisweiler, and many other co-authors for particular chapters, is a book with the simple objective of explaining how to build a thinking machine. It began as a single volume, but has now split into Volume 1, A Path to Beneficial Artificial General Intelligence. Volume 2, An Architecture for Beneficial Artificial General Intelligence. Now, I want you to see some of this content, the contents of this book. Here, Introduction, AI returns to its roots. Potential approaches to AGI. Now let's skip down to Part 1, Background, a pragmatic philosophy of mind. Patternist philosophy, formalizing patternism, the dynamics of cognition, the standard model, insights from cognitive science, the standard model of the human mind, glocal memory, the semi-formal model of glocal memory, peristages. You can see Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence, the global workspace, insights from neuroscience, high-level brain structures and dynamics, low-level brain structures and dynamics, knowledge representation, emotions and motivation, varieties of memory, semantic memory, episodic memory, mirror neurons and associated neural systems. When I tell you these guys are so deep with these damn robots to the point where right now they're at human level, that tells you where we are and where we're going to be in the next couple of years. By 2030, remember, they already said it's going to jump to a $3.1 trillion market cap. So imagine if they're just being modest with that. Because I know all these companies are going deep into AI. Insights from traditional AI paradigms, narrow AI versus AGI, globalist versus localist representations, computational linguistics. I mean, this thing is deep. Neural symbolic integration. Chapter 6, 4 inspirational cognitive architectures. And I mean, this thing just keeps going on and on. I'm linking everything in the description so you guys can see this for yourself. Designed for an AGI. General intelligence in the everyday human world. I'm showing you this information because I need you to understand how big of a sleeper AGI SingularityNET is. Okay? If you're talking about a coin that's going to make you rich, AGI will be that coin to do so. I don't care what anybody says. You can pump all the 5 coins to 5 million, 3 coins to 3 million, whatever the hell you want to. But this one right here is going to make you a millionaire. Multi. Boom! You got that? I don't think you understand. But this is the entire contents of this book. It's a very long book. As you can see, it's about 625 pages long. Now I'm going to jump into this article over here titled New World Order of the AI Economy. This was done on April 18th, 2019. In conjunction with other global trends, artificial intelligence is rapidly tearing down the old barriers to building new world orders as a result the next century will be dominated by countries that rapidly adapt to the new AI economy, like China and Japan. The assumptions that the next century will be the Chinese century may be proved wrong if China cannot adapt to the AI economy. Even Germany can throw in there. The AI economy is built on 3 pillars: AI workforce, labor pool with broad set of skills including AI researchers, AI implementers, and AI literate workers adept with robotics and automation. 2. AI infrastructure, data sharing, algorithm exchange, labor mobility, and low-cost energy will be needed to support continued AI innovation. Number 3, AI social contract. Worker displacement will create significant resistance. Retraining, guaranteed income schemes, and other transition costs will be absorbed by leading countries adopting the AI economy. Old world orders. Since the 1800s, the world orders of Pax Britannica, the American century, 1917 to 2017, and the emergence of the Chinese century, 2017 to present, have been driven by similar economic and political rules. Readily available and low-cost labor, energy, and raw materials. Institutional and government support of industries providing access to capital, political stability, and international trade. Continued innovation that drives marginal production costs down, worker productivity up, supporting increased living standards. Since 1800, rapid adoption of new technologies including the telegraph, steam power, electricity, assembly lines, automation, and recently, robotics have delivered early adopters with durable advantage and supremacy on the world stage. As China prepares to assume economic supremacy for the next century, perhaps the rules have changed. Importantly, energy costs are rapidly moving towards zero marginal costs per Jeremy Rifkin, and the increased diffusion of military and political power, as Farhad Zakaria first outlined in his 2009 book, The Post-American World, are reducing the barriers to new entrants to the superpower game. The most fundamental rule change in the mainstream adoption of artificial intelligence and the realization of huge AI-driven productivity gains in terms of automation, efficiency, and accuracy. AI and automation fundamentally change the economic foundation of the previous world orders. Now, basically, this just goes into how AI is going to be changing the workforce. So the job that you think you have right now, that you just ever so love, can be and will be at certain point, depending on what field you're in, be overtaken by artificial intelligence. And this basically will go into that. So I'm definitely going to link this for you so you guys can read this. But I want to dive into this document over here. So here we're going to jump into this article, The New World Order of Artificial Intelligence. As you can see, we have Zuckerberg and Musk. Despite the public debate between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg on whether or not artificial intelligence is good for humanity, and on the heels of Facebook's news, it had shut down its AI engine because chatbots had started talking to one another in their own language. AI is still in high growth mode. Analyst firm research and markets predict the global AI market to grow to $23.4 billion by 2025, which we know that's not true because I've already told you from previous reports that it went from 23 billion and it's going to go to 3.1 trillion by 2025. And Elon Musk is contradicting himself. He sits here and says, oh, AI is not good for humanity, but he has a company called OpenAI, which all they focus on is goddamn artificial intelligence. So what you guys need to be weary of is you have people who are influencers who will tell you one thing in public, but will do the complete opposite behind the scenes. So if you hear a video with Elon Musk talking about he's not interested in artificial intelligence, that's a goddamn lie. In July 2017, UK startup Graphcore closed a $30 million investment round for Nicholas Zinstrom's venture capital firm, Atomico. Zinstrom was one of the co-founders of Skype. Graphcore makes chips specifically for AI applications. Other investors in the funding round included Draper Esprit, Robert Bosch Venture Capital, Amadeus Capital, C4 Ventures, Foundation Capital, Pentago, and corporate investors Dell Technologies Capital and Samsung Catalyst Fund. Individual investors included Demis Hassabis, the CEO of DeepMind, which is also another artificial intelligence company. The total investment for the company is $62 million. Graphcore's investments comes on the heels two recent global AI milestones. The first is China's recent announcement of their plans to be the world's AI leader by 2030, and a New York Times story that China's top-ranked games player had been beaten in the strategy game of Go by AlphaGo, a board game program from Alphabet's DeepMind. DeepMind focuses on AI research and applications for a positive impact in multiple market sectors. Basically, I'm not going to go any much further into this article because it's basically telling you that artificial intelligence is going to rule the world. This is some of the best investment that you can put into your portfolio is artificial intelligence. You want to be where things are headed, and you want to be sitting there before it fully heads there and it's realized by mainstream adoption. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bigger the Race. I'm your host, Brando, aka Crypto Poppy. I want to thank all of the likes, the subscribes, the comments. If you like my content, share this video. Share all of my videos. Subscribe to the channel. And always remain positive in my comment box. I want to thank my partner in crime who is never to be seen but only heard of. I appreciate you for all the work that you helped me bring to the community. Remember, investigate truth on your own terms.